Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Hi.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Can everybody see and hear us okay? This is the first time that we're using StreamYard, so we're not used to the setup. Can you guys see us and hear us?
Let us know, please.
Let us know in the comments. We'll give it a couple of minutes to let people filter in.
Hello, Cindy K. Hello, EVB. Hello, Night.
Starry Night.
Oh, Starry Night. I'm sorry. Starry Night.
Okay, Cindy can see and hear us.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Cindy.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Starry Night.
Hello, Supreme Concrete. Thank you.
Excellent. Supreme Concrete. That's a cool name.
Hello.
Welcome. Very happy to have everybody here.
Hi, the two travelers in Mexico.
Oh, two travelers in Mexico. Welcome. Very happy to have you guys here. Thank you so much for being here, everybody.
We're so happy to have you guys here.
Yeah. So glad that you guys can see and hear us. I actually forgot my phone, so I'm going to go grab that real quick, and I'll let Brittany give you guys a breakdown of what we're going to be talking about tonight.
First of all, how is everybody doing today? Is everybody having a great day? And where is everybody located? Is everybody in Mexico, the U.S.? Let us know. Where are you guys from? You can put in the comments below. Glad to be here. EVB, thank you. Thank you. Cindy K is in the U.S. Woo! Okay. We have the U.S. in the house. All right.
But not for long, right, Cindy? Very excited for Cindy. Cindy's going to be heading to Morelia. Very, very cool.
So everybody, EVB said U.S. All right, so we have two people in the U.S. Awesome. All right, very good. Excellent. So today, we're going to talk to you. I can't wait, Cindy K said. Aww.
I can't wait for you, Cindy. Man, Morelia is the bomb. Morelia is great. Really fantastic. I really, really miss the shopping over there. Can't wait to get back to Morelia soon.
So without further ado, we're going to talk to you guys about how we make money. I saw a little while ago, a few months ago, it said that the new American dream is being able to afford to live in Mexico. And in some ways that is kind of true. I think there's this big misconception out there that Mexico is like this super, super dirt cheap country that you can just go to. And maybe at one time it was, but with inflation and with the peso getting stronger, it's just not the case anymore. It still is mostly cheaper than the U.S. I think 60%, something like that. But
yeah, it's a large amount cheaper, depending on what you're looking at. Johnny M, you guys know Afraid of Cartel. Johnny M, the whole government is scared of the cartel. Oh man, well, that's a loaded question that we can probably talk about maybe in another live. We can talk about maybe the cartel separately because that's like a huge topic.
As for owning a gun in Mexico, we'll have to do some research on that one.
Yeah, as far as owning a gun in Mexico, last time I checked, you can own one in your house.
Well, we can look it up.
Yeah, but we can touch on that stuff definitely in another live. But what Brittany was saying, and it's a fantastic question. It's just that it's such a loaded question. You know what I mean? Loaded, no pun intended. So anyway, Mexico itself, a lot of people, like Brittany was saying, people look at it in their minds. They think, oh, this must be a dirt cheap country, third world country. This is the place that everybody goes to in order to escape and get financial freedom. Depending on where you're moving in Mexico and depending on what you're looking at as far as expenses, it may not be the place. It still is, like Brittany mentioned, like probably 60% cheaper.
Yes, according to livingcost.org, it says the average cost of living in Mexico is 61% less expensive than the United States. Mexico ranked 89th versus 8th for the United States in the list of the most expensive countries in the world.
Right. Yeah, so it still is a majority cheaper depending on what you're looking at. But but when compared to other countries, like, for example, I'll just throw something out there, Turkey, it's definitely not even close to as cheap of a country as Turkey would be. So,
or India.
So people have other options out there. And a lot of reasons why people come to Mexico is because it's right across, the United States. They have family here. It is 61% or whatever cheaper. So, but yeah, we'll break it down a little bit further. We get asked a lot how we make money. I just want to check out Johnny M's comments real quick. He mentioned that he wants to live in Mexico, but that he's scared to live in Mexico. Yeah, well, again, that's a loaded question that we can touch on as far as the cartel on another day, but I would have to worry about being scared. Yeah, sorry, guys. Something just happened with the screen there. Let us know if you can hear us and see us well. Just to Johnny, but Johnny is paying $1,700 rent in Texas. Yeah. All right. So yeah, definitely. It's expensive in Texas, New York, and all that stuff. But yeah, let's get on to it. And guys, feel free to drop some questions in the comments. Oh, excellent. Thank you so much. Feel free to drop some questions in the comments, and we'll hit those questions as we move forward. But we want to make sure that we get you guys the information you came for.
You're welcome, Johnny M.
You got it, Johnny M. Very happy that everybody's here.
Thank you, everybody, and welcome. So today we're going to talk to you guys about how we make money and also how you guys can make money, because you may think you have to be retired to be in Mexico, and that's not true. While there are a lot of retired people who live in Mexico, maybe they live on Social Security or they have a pension, not everybody does. And so it's okay. Bye, Johnny M.
Adios.
Have fun at work. Okay. Thank you for joining. So we're going to talk to you guys about some different things that you can do to make money in Mexico. So what do we do as far as work?
So technically, Brittany and I are allowed to legally work here. Yeah, we're technically allowed to work here. Once we renewed our residency, the folks over at the sorry, I'm a little out of it today, guys. Where do we go? What's it called?
Immigration office.
The immigration office. The folks at the immigration office told us that we're legally allowed to work. So technically, we could be working for pesos, which would be a great idea to do in Mexico, to work for pesos. And the reason why is because the fluctuation of US dollars to Mexican dollars might change, and you don't know how much that might change. So if you can make pesos and American dollars, that would be great. That's actually our circumstance right now. We're able to make pesos and dollars. So as far as jobs themselves, any jobs that we have, they are remote work, right? You guys could have guessed. We work on YouTube. Brittany does teaching online.
So I also wanted to talk about one thing about the YouTube. So something that's really important to note is that if don't think that you can just come down here and be doing YouTube and you're going to become rich or something like that.
Right.
YouTube doesn't pay honestly that much unless maybe you're like really big or you go viral or something. So don't rely on that. And something that I remember, because I also do, like Joe was saying, like teach online, is don't put all your eggs in one basket. So don't just think I'm going to do one YouTube channel and I'm going to be able to afford to live in Mexico because it's so cheap. What we actually have is, well, Joe has two YouTube monetized YouTube channels, and we have 3 altogether. We have this channel, which is monetized. So yes, YouTube is a great way that you can make money, but don't just depend on one YouTube channel if that's all you have.
Yeah, YouTube is a really funny thing. And a lot of people I've noticed online think, I'm going to leave my life, I'm going to go travel around the world, and I'm going to open a YouTube channel and just make all this money. That is not the case at all for at least for everybody. I'll give you a quick example. YouTube was supposed to pay us a very decent amount of money just recently, and they ended up not doing it. And if you take a look at YouTube in general, they're not the best company to work for if that's what you're trying to make your job. You can't talk to a physical person as far as customer service. If they owe you money, you have to really fight for it. There's no guarantee you're going to get your money. So yes, we were able to create a channel, come to Mexico, have that channel monetized. As Brittany mentioned, I had 2 other channels that were already monetized, making money. The money is good, but it fluctuates. It fluctuates depending on how many views you're getting at the time. And so it's not necessarily a steady source of income or a safe source of income. So if you were going to do something like that and depend on a YouTube channel, I would say personally, make sure you have a savings that you can feed off of already in case YouTube doesn't necessarily pan out right away or something along those lines. Let's see here. This is a good question. Let me see if I can get it on the screen.
Okay.
How much money did you guys have saved before deciding to move to Mexico? So I'm not going to give you an exact amount, but it was a very large amount. Okay. I don't want to get into numbers, but I would say personally for you guys, it depends on what you want your journey to look like. I recommend having at least, even in the United States, 6 months to a year worth of money saved up. 6 months to a year. That's including your rent. That's including the food. That's including any type of bills. Have all that money in the bank or in assets, right? Because money is not always cash, assets. Have at least that amount saved up before you go ahead and make a move like that. You should honestly have that saved up, even if you plan on just living in the U.S. You should never have your bank account have nothing in it. What were you going to say?
How much money would you think for Mexico that would be a good amount?
How much money to have for Mexico? That's
saved up.
That's a loaded question because everybody's going to live a different lifestyle. Everybody's going to live in a different area.
So long story short, don't come down here with like $500 thinking that, okay, I can pay for 1 month's rent, then I'll figure it out. Because it also depends on like how much you'll need depends on where in Mexico you are. Right. And also, do you want to be in a gated community? Do you want to be in a suburb? Do you want to be in a city? Do you want to be in the center of the city? If you're going to be in the center of the city, it may cost you more money than being on the outskirts of the city. So it all depends on where location and location about where you are in Mexico, and also the type of dwelling that you're going to have. Are you going to rent a studio? Are you going to rent a 3-bedroom? And the biggest thing also is location. So that it's not like a one size fit all.
Yeah. And I'm sure you can understand why we don't want to get into our own personal finances on YouTube. So, I won't apologize for that too much. But I can tell you 6 months to a year, I think you should have that, whether you're in the United States or whether you're abroad, because you don't want to leave yourself open to having no money in another country. It's very unfortunate, but we actually know people who decided to leave their home country, come to Mexico, and have almost no financial setup. And it's kind of like, what are you doing? Are you out of your mind? You're not even legally allowed to work in Mexico until you actually file that paperwork. And even once you do, what Mexican person is going to hire an American or a foreigner in general to work for their business unless they have some amazing skill?
Right. So we're going to get into that. So to answer your guys' questions, what do we do for work? Well, we do YouTube, a total of 3 YouTube channels. I'm hoping to start up teaching again online in September because it'll be the new school year. And so hopefully I can be able to start up with that. But again, teaching teaching English or anything like that, that's pretty big. A lot of they call digital nomads. They're you don't have to be in Mexico, you can be anywhere in the world doing that. Philippines or Turkey or whatever. But even that, like, it's a lot when it comes to teaching. It's usually, I say usually because it depends on what company you're with. It's not consistent. So with the company that I'm currently with, like during the school year, this past school year, it wasn't consistent. It's not like, oh, I'm going to make this amount of money every single month or things like that. Um, and there's different ways you can go about, teaching online. You can either, we'll get into that second. You can either have a teaching company. Oh, yep. You can either have your own teaching company, or you can work for a company. And I was actually having a conversation with my friends. She's not thinking about moving to Mexico, but she wants to work online from home. So I was telling her that, if you think about teaching English, that you need to decide: do you want to work work with children, work with adults? Do you want to teach Asians? I say Asians because if you're going to be teaching Asians, talking about Japan, Korea, China, those countries, then you're going to need to. Usually, there are exceptions, but I know that a company that you don't have to wake up too early, but usually it's early morning and late at night. So keep that in mind if you want to do that. So that's another thing we do. And you want to tell them what else we do for work?
Yeah, so I'm also an online personal trainer. I got that started up before we came here, right? So online personal training brings in an income. Obviously, I have 3 YouTube channels, so I by trade I'm an editor, right? Because I do a lot of my own editing. So I am also an editor. So you can work abroad. You can use maybe Fiverr, for example, as a platform to find people who might need your editing skills. You can edit for other YouTube channels. Right now, I edit for another YouTube channel to help them make their videos. So between the YouTube, the personal training, the editing work that I do, all that stuff, it adds up. And like Brittany said, you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. None of these jobs that we have are completely consistent and completely dependable. All of them will fluctuate. And so that's why it's kind of nice to, if you can, find something more steady. But if you can't find something steady, have more than one income in order to supplement your lifestyle here. And again, you're not coming here with nothing in the bank, right? That's very important. Don't just pick up and leave your country and go to a country when you have no recourse, no way to make money, no way to make pesos, or whatever country you're in, make that currency. Very important.
So one thing why we encourage people to make both pesos and dollars is because the exchange rate, or I say the fluctuation of the peso to dollar is constantly changing so much. So, I mean, not everybody's in this position to do it, but something that you may want to consider is buying an investment property, and that way you can have a somewhat more stable income.
So what Brittany and I decided to do, as you guys probably noticed, if you have been following the channel, is we purchased an investment property here in Mexico. And the reason why was because we wanted the ability to make pesos rather than just make US dollars, because we don't know what's going to happen in the United States with the currency. And so if we can have a mixture of US and pesos as far as currency, that would be great. So that's what we did. I personally recommend working very hard while you're in the United States. If you plan on coming to Mexico, first of all, I recommend you get the paperwork process out of the way right now. So like tomorrow, go out there, start filing for the paperwork. And we have some videos talking about how you can do that out on the channel. You can talk to immigration officers. We have a video, immigration office, people who work for the immigration. You can talk to them, reach out to the consulate. There's so many ways you can get going, but get going. And then while you're in the United States or Canada, while you're in your foreign country, wherever you're coming from, make as much money as you can now, right? Then you can bring it here. Set up a bank account while you're in the United States. I recommend personally Wise. Set up a Wise bank account or something similar so that you have a way of putting your United States dollars into Wise. And then when you come to the foreign country, come to Mexico, wherever, you simply transfer that money and turn it into that foreign currency. So Wise, for example, will allow you to take US dollars that is in your Wise bank account and turn it into pesos at a very reasonable currency exchange rate. Okay, so you'll have money coming in the currency that you need it. You're not going to be going to ATMs, spending huge fees if you're able to use something like Wise and things like that. But yes, we purchased an investment property here in Mexico because we did not want to worry about a stable income. Of course, while there's no guarantee that people will for sure be renting our property, at least you have a roof now and you have a means to make money. So you're very likely going to be able to rent those properties out. People always need housing, and you'll be able to make currency in that foreign country, in Mexico, right? I want to hit the comments real quick. So let's see here. We got a great comment from two travelers in Mexico. Put that up on the screen. Give us a second here, guys. All right, so I don't know what's going on. For some reason, the software doesn't want to show the comment. So I'll go ahead and read the comment. Oh, there we go. All right, so hey guys, a temporary resident visa holder are not allowed to work in Mexico unless a working permit has been previously authorized by immigration. You said I&M told you it's okay to work here. So yes, we're going to talk. We'll let me address that. On our card, when we went to renew our residency, it says right there on the card that we are allowed to work. What's the?
It says permiso para trabajar.
All right, so it literally says that on the card. Now, whether you need to go ahead and apply for a permit along with having that on the card, that's completely unknown to me. So I can't speak on that, but we're legally allowed to work according to the card that we just got. It says it right there on the card. So whether we need to get more paperwork on top of that, that's another story.
And when we were at the immigration office, we asked the woman about this, right?
Yeah, when we were at the immigration office, we asked the woman in Morelia, are we allowed to work? Because it says that, and she said absolutely.
Yeah, it's not, we still have temporary residency, but what we did is we renewed it for 3 years. So on our original card, it was a green card, literally a green card, and it didn't say that on that one. We went back this year and we got it, and now it says it on it, and it's not a green card anymore. It's actually like this tan looking colored card. So I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, but it says it on there. I don't know. Maybe it's changed.
Yeah, more than one person has been shocked to hear that they wrote this directly on the card, and they've also been shocked to see that the card has changed. So the color of the card apparently that we got is different than what other people have recently got. So maybe there was an update and they streamlined the process so that if you have the card, you're allowed to work without a permit. That I don't know, but I can tell you legally we can work here because it says on the card we can work here. All right, let's see. We got another comment. Try to bring that up on the screen. Mimo, I think that a lot of people are considering moving outside of the U.S. at this point. I'm considering Colombia. I've heard some great stuff about Colombia. Take $100K to purchase a home and start a small business to have a stable job. That is an excellent, excellent thing to bring out. One of the things on my list that we haven't touched on yet is bring your money from your foreign country to create a business. Mexico specifically, you may have a little bit of a hard time if you don't speak Spanish or if you don't understand the culture. You may have a little bit of a hard time depending on where you are. But if you're in a place that is heavily populated with Americans, well, then you're not going to have a problem.
Mhm.
You can, for example, on my list, you can be a real estate agent in Mexico very easily.
Without having to know Spanish.
You don't need to know the language if you're going to be dealing with Americans. If you know Spanish, you can go ahead and deal with Americans and Mexicans, right? You can open a restaurant here.
A boat tour.
You can do touring.
Mhm.
We know an amazing couple over here who has a great cleaning business. A
cafe.
A cafe. So yes, absolutely. Fantastic comment with excellent thoughts. Yeah.
Tons of American and Canadian real estate agents too. There's tons of them in Mexico. But again, depends on your location. Are you in an area like Joe was saying where there are Americans, Canadians? For example, let's say you're in. I'm just going to give you guys a little understanding of ideas. Let's say you want to be a real estate agent. You don't speak Spanish, and you want to do that. You want to move to Morelia. You've heard us talk a lot about Morelia. Well, that's going to be extremely, if not impossible, to do there because your clients or whatever they call, your people who would be buying would be so small of only English speakers that it would be very difficult for you to do that without having to know Spanish. But if you go to a place, let's say like Lake Chapala area, for example, tons of Americans, Canadians, people from even Europe, and
Puerto Vallarta,
La Paz. We have friends in La Paz, and you go to areas like that. Then yeah, depending on where you are, if you're in a heavily San Miguel de Allende, for example, you can. I'm not encouraging you not to learn Spanish, but if you don't speak Spanish already and you want to start a business, maybe you don't want to work online. Maybe it's not for you. Maybe you don't want to do YouTube. Maybe you don't want to make videos. Maybe you don't want to teach English. Not everybody wants to do those things. Well, there are other opportunities like we're talking about. So again, really think about where do you want to be and what kind of lifestyle do you want to have.
Right. And I really appreciate, again, that comment that Mimo here on the screen brought out. I hope I'm saying your name right. I can only say it, to a point. So I'm just going to call you Mimo. But I really appreciate that because what they are considering doing is bringing a decently large amount of cash with them. They're already thinking in advance. Do not be like those people who think, oh, I'm just going to go there and start a YouTube channel, or I'm just going to go there and figure it out. No. Horrible idea. $100,000 to take to another country, Mexico, Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent amount of money in order to be able to survive for quite a long time. Okay?
Yeah.
It depends on where you are, depends on what your lifestyle is. But if you are savvy with money,
mm-hmm.
I think that's an excellent starting point.
Right.
Because I remember earlier, Mimo, you asked how much money do we have? Well, I think what you're looking at there, excellent amount of money.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And I think you see a lot of these videos on YouTube like, oh, you can live in Mexico on $1,000 a month, $1,500 a month. Okay, well, it depends on, are you renting? Do you own your own house? Are you paying rent? And again, where are you? So like we mentioned multiple times throughout this video, it depends on your location about how much you need. But it also depends on like your lifestyle. So I mean, most Americans or Canadians or Australians or foreigners, we'll just say, who are coming here, right, may not want to live with the same standards maybe as some other ones, like as the locals maybe.
So let me give you an example. What Brittany's trying to say is, depending on where you want to live, you're going to be spending a certain amount. You can get a place depending on the area in Mexico, and actually in a lot of places. Probably almost every. I'm going to go out on a limb and say probably almost every single city in Mexico, you can find a place for 250 to 300 USD a month. It's not going to have furniture in it. You may not be in the greatest place on earth, but you probably will be in a more than fine place. But it all depends on your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
What is good to you? You can find a place in Morelia for 250, 300 USD a month.
We have friends that rent.
Yeah, we're not talking because we don't know. We're talking to you because we have friends who pay that. 250 USD a month. The home is not furnished, and it's not in a place that is extremely close to the center of the city. It certainly is not terribly far. You're looking at maybe a 15-minute drive. So you can find an Uber in Morelia. You can drive if you have a car.
Take a combi.
But keep in mind, you're probably coming from your country with an Amazon account, with a Netflix account. You're coming with multiple different types of financial baggage that you may not think to account for. So make sure you account for that before you come here. Figure out how much you're spending, get a detailed amount before you leave to come to a foreign country, and know exactly what you'll need once you get here. Always err on the side of caution. Make sure you have more than what you need, not less, okay? Let me check out that next comment. From the two travelers in Mexico. I mean, working online is one thing, yes, because you're making, US dollars. But working for a company physically, from my understanding, is not okay here on a temporary residency visa. You absolutely can. Even when we first got our first temporary visa, we asked them on our first card, when we were only allowed to be here for 1 year before we had to renew, we said, can we work? And they said, absolutely. You just need to file for a permit. Mm-hmm. So even back then, we were allowed to physically work if we filed for a permit. Now our new cards tell you right on the card you can work. Again, I don't know if you need to get more paperwork on top of that, but the woman from the office, not saying she was correct or not, but the woman from the office said, yes, you can absolutely work here.
Yeah, she said the only thing you can't do was vote.
Yeah, she said you can do everything.
I said, are we Mexican? She said, yeah, you're Mexican.
Yeah, she said you're Mexican. The only thing is you can't vote. We said, no problem. We're not going to vote anyway. So that's, do your own research, but this is our experience, and that's literally what our card tells us. It says we're allowed to work here. So everybody do your own research, right? Talk to an immigration lawyer, talk to the INM, do your own research, and you guys will do well. Let's see here.
I'm gonna go get a drink.
Okay. Starry Night, great idea. Congrats on your investment. Thank you so much. We're very excited and very happy to be able to, move forward with this step in our lives. Very, very happy to do that, and very grateful for all the support from the channel. Thank you guys so much. David W. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your last name, so I'm not going to try. How did you build up a client base with online personal training? Did you get any certifications? Any certifications you would recommend? Were you scared to leave your jobs for online work? That's a very loaded and excellent question. So I'll break it down into different parts. How did you build up a client base with online personal training? That happened by accident. I've always been involved with exercise my entire life. I've been training with weights and different types of training since I was about 8 years old. But I started a YouTube channel, and that's how I got my client base. So YouTube is excellent for making ad revenue, right? But it's even better because ad revenue, depending on how well your YouTube channel does, may not be too good. So as far as building a client base, YouTube is very good for that. You need to be a little bit adventurous in trying to figure out what works or not. But YouTube is literally free advertising for your company. So what a lot of people will do is, for example, if you're a personal trainer, you can go on YouTube and start showing people exercises, show people what you do for your training, things like that. And automatically now your name is out there. People are building a rapport with you, and you're helping people for free. So they're probably going to say, this is a nice guy. He's helping me for free. Oh, wait, he does personal training also. That's great. Let me work with him because I trust him. I like him, and I see what he's about. So that's basically what happened with me. Did you get any certifications? No. In New York, you do not need any certifications unless they've changed that. You don't need any certifications in order to be a personal trainer. And would I recommend any? Not necessarily, because I feel like a lot of the time, it depends on your skill level. Let me put that out there. If you don't know a lot, I recommend you do. I recommend you go ahead and look into getting some kind of certificate, study the body and things like that. But as far as if you already understand what training is, if you can already understand the anatomy of a human being, and you're already well versed, I don't necessarily think you need one. Will it help you go further? I can't even guarantee you that it will. I really can't. A lot of people, speaking from experience, will look at you and they'll be like, I see he knows what he's doing, so I want to work with him. That's where most of my clients have come from. People will see me walk. I got an almost client just the other day simply by existing. Someone saw me, realized that I worked for as a personal trainer because of the way I looked, and they were like, hey, have you ever worked with somebody like me before? So that goes a long way also. But as far as building a client base, YouTube is a great way to do that. Were we scared to leave our jobs for online work?
So actually, before we even came to Mexico, before we even knew let me put it this way, before we even knew we were going to live in Mexico, this was like before that, you already had the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So let me put it this way: during the pandemic, Joe started his YouTube channel. That was the Joey B, the that one, right?
Right.
Yeah. And then I started teaching online. I've worked with like several different companies since then, but I started teaching online, I think it was in 2020. So teaching online, working online for us wasn't like.
But I think what David's talking about is our stable jobs. I think that's what you're getting at.
Oh.
So I had a stable job when I was working in the United States, and it was very, very scary to leave. I had no clue that I was going to leave when I did. This was something I did meditate on for about a year and a half or so, but a year and a half is not too much time. So it kind of all happened quickly. So it was very scary, but with the way the culture and the way the United States was going at the time, I kind of made up in my mind that I don't want to be here. And so my heart was not in the United States. The job was an excellent job, and I worked very hard for a long time to build up enough funds and save those funds in order to have a cushion, right? Again, you want minimum 6 months to a year cushion, in my personal opinion. Many financial experts will say at least 3 months. I don't think that's a good idea. I recommend 6 months to a year of finances saved. So for quite a while, I was saving money. I was putting money into assets and all that stuff. It was very scary to leave my job. But when you wake up every day, you hate what you're doing to a degree. You don't necessarily enjoy it. And then you have the country that you're living in your eyes going down the tubes. It makes it a lot easier. It makes it a lot easier to leave and just be like, you know what? I'm sick of this. I need to get outside of the box that I've built, that society has built around me. I'm tired of this and I don't want to be here. So while it was scary, we did a lot of literal praying about this. We did a lot of talking about this. We consulted YouTube for more information, friends for more information.
Yeah, we also scoped out the area too before we came to Mexico. We didn't just pick one place and do that.
Yes.
We actually in 2021, we didn't have the channel then, but the travel channel, I mean.
Right.
We went around and to different parts of Mexico, Leon, Querétaro, Guanajuato City, La Paz, Michoacan.
A lot of different
places.
A lot of different. That was a great point to bring out. We did not do this blind. Some people will be like, I'm moving to Mexico. I'm moving to Turkey. I'm moving wherever. And they've never been there
Just
before.
because you hear somebody talk about it doesn't mean it's going to be a good fit for you.
There's a reason why our travel channel sucks, okay? We get so many comments with people saying, your footage isn't good, or you're not doing this, you're not showing us all the food you're eating, you're not putting music. There's a reason. Guys, we also get more comments. I'm grateful to know most people understand where we're coming from. We also get more people commenting saying, thank you for not being like all the other travel channels. And the reason why is because we're trying to give you a true to life idea of what this place is like. If I go showing you only the good things, if I go showing you only, music and all this heavily edited footage with like, oh, Mexico's only about tequila and dancing and partying and this and that, you're not going to know what it's like to live here. And you're going to be under a false impression. So if I show you without all that garbage that so many channels shove down your throat, you're going to get a good idea of what it's like to live here. So that's why our channel sucks, right? Many people understand where we're coming from. They're like, thank you for not being like those other channels. And that's why, because we're trying to give you a true to life idea so that you're not surprised. Because Mexico is a beautiful place, but there's a lot that you need to know about in order to move here successfully.
And going back to like having money saved, I would also recommend like don't just have 6 months money. I would already have a plan about what am I going to do for work, and not just think, okay, I have my money saved, and in a few months I'll figure it out. Because I have a YouTube channel. Oh, you just got out. Oh, there you go. I already have a YouTube channel on top of the savings. So before we came to Mexico, like we said, we all, we already had YouTube channels. We already had, working online. So we weren't just coming on here with savings and just starting from like scratch, so to speak.
Right.
It was already, so if you're in the U.S. or your home country, or whatever country you're coming from, or you're watching us from, I would start thinking right now, if I'm thinking about leaving my home country, well, maybe I can look for online work. Maybe I can look to do YouTube. Maybe I can, and that's other things we want to get into is what you can do too. Maybe you can be a blogger. Maybe you can edit other people's videos, even if it's not your own videos. Maybe there are so many different jobs that you can do working online. Maybe you work for a company that will let you work remotely from your home country. That's another possibility. There are so many different things that you can do right now, before you even leave, just to set yourself up also.
But that's a great point. But my best case scenario is you work your butt off while you have the good job.
Yeah, both things.
Yeah, work your butt off while you're not here. Make the money you can now, and then when you come here, you depending on how much you make, you can sit pretty. I know so many people back in the States that can come here and never have to work again if they just set themselves up right. So you may or may not be one of those people. So I recommend making the money, having the assets before you come here, and do what you need to do before you come. So many people want things now, but now might not be the time. So you might have to sit back and be like, all right, I need 2 years. That's why you need to start the paperwork now, though.
Yeah, start your paperwork.
Start your paperwork now.
Start your saving.
And if you have to wait 2 years, you might still be able to have an early retirement. While Brittany and I are not retired technically, I certainly 95% of the time feel like it. So I'm grateful to say. And buying the house, the investment property, that was just another thing that I wanted to do in order to help ease my mind at night. I wanted an asset here in Mexico that can make me pesos to make me feel even more retired. You know what I mean? So that's something that I did. Again, I'm not telling you to do what we did, but have a plan like Brittany said. Your plan may be investing in the stock market. It may be something else, whatever. You guys do you. Do your research, have a plan. This is the road that we traveled, and you don't necessarily have to follow us. Make your own decisions, but make wise, well thought out decisions. Let's move on to the next comment. Excellent comments, by the way, guys. Thank you so much. Excellent comments, really. David, have either of you picked up any online work you didn't expect to originally? Maybe teaching on italki, or something similar. For me, it was just the editing of other people's content on YouTube. That's the only work I didn't necessarily expect to get, but people reached out to me and they were like, more than one person. Also, because of my YouTube channels, I have two other channels. One is a jewelry channel, one is a bodybuilding channel. The bodybuilding channel brings me clients for training. The jewelry channel and jewelry and accessory channel, that also brings me clients, but those clients pay me to display their merchandise, right? So they'll send me their merchandise and I will put it on camera and show people what it's like, and I make money for that. The other companies out there who ask me to edit their YouTube videos, those companies too. So multiple ways to earn an income, and those are some of the ways that I never really expected would help in the way they do. Of course, there's always ups and downs with that, and that's why you want to make sure you have multiple sources that you can kind of pick and choose from.
Yeah, so like Joe was saying, like he already had the 2 channels that were monetized before we decided to come here again in 2023. So, that's something also to consider. As for that we didn't expect to originally, I never really thought, like, if you would ask me like 5 years ago, would I ever be working online? I would probably say no. I don't think I'll ever be working online because I never really think about it at the time. But now, yeah, now I'm working online. What happens is my brother-in-law, he works online, and so that kind of got me starting to think about working online. You don't have to, and also the pandemic happened, and at the time I was working for Amazon in a warehouse in Brooklyn, and I didn't want to go back to work, and it was not really a fun job, and it was really stressful. Amazon is, be honest, is a stressful. What you read about Amazon is true. It is stressful. They want you to be fast, 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 and it's always very busy.
And
so
they don't put their workers benefit above the work. So the work always comes first. So you're working in dangerous conditions. But anyway, I mean,
So yeah, so I started teaching online with the company, and then I changed I don't even know, maybe 5 companies, 4 companies later, here I am. So, you may start with one company, you may start with italki, you may start with Cambly, you may start with one of the companies, and you realize it's not for you, that company, and you find something that's better for you, or you say, you know what, I've been doing this for a few years, I want to start my own business, and that could happen too. So, did we pick up any online work that we didn't expect originally? I mean, I didn't originally, I'm not sure when it originally started in this question, but originally in my life, I never thought about working online to answer the question. I don't think did you think about it?
Yeah, YouTube was a mistake that I realized could make me money. I went on YouTube one day on my other channel, and all of a sudden it took off. And I was like, wow, this is pretty great. And then I'm getting money. And it's like, oh, okay. So that's what kind of led me towards the YouTube spectrum. It's amazing. Another thing you can do is in the descriptions of your YouTube videos, right? Let's say you get a little popular on YouTube. Now all of a sudden somebody asks, oh, I like your glasses. People tell me all the time, I don't even know where they are. I love your sunglasses. I love your sunglasses. What kind of sunscreen do you use in Mexico? You have tattoos. Do you use a special sunscreen? I like that shirt. Where'd you get that shirt? Affiliate links, guys. If you get an affiliate program with Amazon, you sign up for an Amazon affiliates program,
Mm-hmm.
Amazon will give you links for the items that you buy on Amazon. You don't even have to buy them.
Mm-hmm.
You could just literally go on there and get an affiliate link. You share that link with your viewers. I recommend not sharing something that you don't personally endorse, of course. I only share what I endorse. But for example, my glasses, right? Not these, but my sunglasses. sunglasses. Everybody is like head over heels for my sunglasses. So I got an affiliate link for my sunglasses. I put it in the YouTube video in the description, and I tell people, link to my sunglasses. When people go on there and click that link, you get paid. So that's another way you can make money. I make money from Amazon in that way. Endorse things that you've used and you appreciate, and you can get paid for it. It's not amazing money, but $100 here, $200 there every month. I mean, that goes a long way. That's just another drop in the pot that can help you. You know what I mean?
Or maybe you could do some sort of like consulting work. Maybe you're an expert in a certain field. I don't know, like some other field. I don't know. and whatever you're professional at doing, maybe someone wants to come to you for advice. Like Joe does online coaching. Maybe you have a special skill. Maybe you're something that's really big. I think right now is graphic design. People are doing that. Maybe you could design things online. There are so many different ways that you can make money. And or depending on if you're living in Mexico, like we said, you don't have to work online. You can have, I don't want to say like a real job because these are real jobs, but you can have like a brick and mortar job. Is that the expression?
Yeah, brick and mortar.
Yeah, you can have like a job like that if that's something that you really want.
Yeah, and like it was mentioned earlier, you can take the money that you accumulate in your home country, bring it to another country, and use that money in a much greater capacity. You can build your own business. You can just live off it forever. You can invest, so you get dividends, right? A lot of people invest and get dividends. $500 a month, $600 a month. However you decide to do it, there's multiple ways. Let's move on to Kathy's comment. Kathy, I definitely want to be able to support myself online somehow while I move south of the border. Absolutely. And I hope that these ways are helping you, give you ideas. I just want to say, everybody out there, YouTube, back in the day, you had to know somebody in order to become famous and successful, right? Quote unquote successful. Not anymore. Not with YouTube. Now, YouTube has its faults, right? YouTube will withhold your money. YouTube will change the algorithm so your channel is not circulated properly. YouTube is not the best of platforms.
No.
But there's good things about it, okay? So I can tell you right now, with my other channels, I've made $2,000 a month. Now, is it every month $2,000? No. But that's just an idea of what YouTube can do for you just because of the ad revenue. You have an opportunity with YouTube. Don't bank on it fully, but you have an opportunity to put yourself out there. And every single one of you has the ability to be unique and add a perspective to someone else's life that can help them. So if you can find your niche, what YouTube calls a niche, where you fit in, right? The category of where you fit in, you might be able to support yourself on YouTube. YouTube can also advertise you for your business, right? So let's say you knit things for a living. I don't know. Let's just say you knit things. Well, I'm going to teach you on YouTube how to knit. Not only am I going to teach you, but you're going to see that you can buy knitting stuff from me. You can have the items that you buy from Amazon that you knit with as a link. Right there, those are three forms of how you can create income in one thing, you knitting. You have your own business, you're on YouTube getting ad revenue, and you're also using affiliate links. And you might have like I said, a website, you could sell your stuff on it, whatever.
Oh, and something I wanted to bring out too is that people think that YouTube is like passive income. Well, it kind of is, but it kind of isn't. You still need to work on it continually. It's not something that like I would recommend like you do it and then you stop. I mean, some people take breaks, that's fine. But in the beginning, I would say like build up. We put out you got to continually work on it, putting out videos on YouTube.
Yeah, it's not the easiest of work unless, of course, you just don't care and throw videos out there, which is fine too. You can do that too. There's many people out there who are like, I'm going against the grain. I'm not even going to edit, and you're going to deal with it. And hey, they get along just fine. So you just upload and that's it. If you're good at speaking, no problem. Lives like this, it's nice because you don't have to edit and you're really engaging with your viewer class, which is excellent. I love doing lives. But yeah, so it's YouTube it's an amazing animal. It really is incredible. Take a look at the two travelers in Mexico's comment. The card color changed for everyone's visas. Okay, cool. Yeah, they mentioned that it used to be green and now it's a cream color. Okay, cool. Yeah, some people were surprised about that. We met a couple the other day who've been here for like 20 years, and they were like, "Oh, they changed the color." Yeah, 20 years later, they changed the color. Let's see, Lisa. Excellent comments, guys. Excellent comments. Okay. Lisa, how do you bring a lot of money and keep from getting robbed? So I'm assuming you mean bring a lot of money from your foreign country here to Mexico. There's only a certain amount that you're allowed to bring, okay? So I would not recommend to you to bring a lot of money from your foreign country. I would not recommend that. I would recommend, again, while you're in the States, getting an account such as Wise, right? We have to do a video on this, but we have a Mexican bank account now. We finally got it. Mm-hmm. But before you even come here, get a Wise account or something similar. They have a couple of different banks out there that are online banks, and they allow you to use your American or Canadian currency in another currency simply by a click on an app. You can turn your dollars into pesos. I don't recommend bringing a lot of money here.
Not physical money.
Not physical money.
No.
They won't even allow you to bring over a certain amount. I don't remember what it is. Yeah. I think it's $10,000. But I don't even recommend doing that. There's no need for it. Now, if your question is alluding more to the point of how do you carry a lot of money without getting robbed, well, I don't carry a lot of money with me. I don't. I rely on credit cards. Make sure you have, if you're coming to Mexico, make sure you have a MasterCard or Visa. Very, very important. Or make sure you have the Wise banking card. Wise will give you a banking card that you can use, but make sure you get it while you're in the States. Don't get it while you're here. You must be in the States because they're not going to ship it to Mexico, and you're going to have trouble. So as far as walking around with a lot of money, we really don't. Maybe 500 pesos, something like. Only carry. But I did this in New York. I lived in New York City. I never walked around with a lot of money. In fact, when I was in New York, I never even used cash ever. Only credit card. In Mexico, you can't really do that. You can't just rely on credit cards because not many places won't take credit cards. It's still a very cash-based society here in Mexico. So you have to carry it, but don't carry more than what you're willing to lose. And I recommend that even for the United States. Don't walk around with money unless you have to, because the whole world is dangerous.
And something I want to talk about, it says, if you enter or leave Mexico, you must declare any sum of money equaling $10,000 or more that you bring in cash, checks, money orders, other cashable documents, or a combination of them. Failing to declare carries a fine ranging from 20% to 40% of the exceeding amount. And that is coming from consolmex.sre.gov.mx.
Yeah, so should you bring $10,000 here? Why? You can't even use it here. It's Mexico. You know what I mean? Yeah. Why would you bring 10 grand in U.S. bills? Don't even bother.
Just don't.
Just get a Wise account. Come to Mexico. You'll do very well until you get a Mexican bank account with your Wise account.
And maybe a Charles Schwab, right?
Oh, yeah, Charles Schwab. We also have a Charles Schwab account, which allows you to take out of ATMs pesos, and they reimburse you for the fees. But I highly recommend, even over the Charles Schwab, I recommend getting that Wise card or something similar, because with Charles Schwab, you still have to pay for certain things. You're paying an exchange rate difference. You're not only paying the fees, but you're paying an exchange rate difference. It may be a horrible rate. If you get a Wise card, you can pay with pesos, and you can transfer your money at the most convenient time for you, which will give you the best exchange rate, better than banks. So that's why I recommend that.
It says Mexico.
Okay, so let's see the next comment here.
Mexico safe, guys.
Sorry, guys, the computer's a little slow. Honda World, Mexico is safe, guys. Yes, I think so. We haven't had any problems yet. Unless Honda World's asking, is Mexico safe? I don't think that they're asking that. But in case you are asking, is Mexico safe? I think it's as safe as anywhere else in the world. Every place has its problems. I'll tell you what, you have a lot less homeless and a lot less drug addicts here in Mexico than in the States. So I feel a lot more comfortable here for that.
There was a single low in there.
Okay, so the next comment. Okay, Wilfredo. Hello, Cindy K. Oh, okay, awesome. Cindy K says hi to Wilfredo. Thank you guys for the excellent comments. Lisa mentions to Honda World, I know someone who speaks fluent Spanish and he got robbed in the middle of the day. I'm sure there are safe places, but as a tiny, small, quote unquote, white girl, I could easily get kidnapped too. Yeah, Lisa, so I hate to say this, but number one, you're right. But number two, I really hate saying it, but it's a fact. It's not always the case, but very rarely will foreigners be targeted. I hate saying that, but it's more rare than Mexicans getting targeted in their own country. Okay. Now, while foreigners can get targeted, of course, I'm just saying it's more rare. Very likely a foreigner will have something on the lighter side, like, getting mugged, give me your wallet, give me your cell phone, somebody like pickpockets you, when opposed to being kidnapped. Okay. Now, I'm not saying it's not going to happen, because all over the world, people are kidnapped. Just take a look at the US. But I can tell you personally that I feel more safe here than in the United States by a million times, because the Mexican people as a whole are just amazing. They are some of the kindest people on earth. So you have bad apples everywhere, but that's my experience. Did you want to touch on that, being a woman?
I don't know. I hope I never find out.
Yeah. You have to make common sense decisions no matter where you are. Don't go into bad areas. Know where you're going in advance. Don't carry a lot of money. Don't be showy. Make common sense decisions no matter where you are in the world. That's what we would recommend. Excellent comment. Thank you, Lisa. Next, we have Wilfredo. I want to move to Querétaro. When I saw you there, I thought that you were going to stay. We've spent some time in Querétaro, and while it is a very nice place, personally, I don't find it to be like, I don't see the hype. I really don't see the hype.
No.
It might be...
The food isn't even that.
Food is a big deal to us, and in Querétaro, oh man, the food did not hit home. If you've never experienced other Mexican food, maybe you think Querétaro's food is great. Listen, we
had a Mexican restaurant, and it's not.
Yeah, we're not really too keen on Querétaro, but I'm not saying you shouldn't go there.
There's no good restaurants there. Just in general, we didn't think it was anything. Honestly, I think we both prefer Mexico City over Querétaro.
Oh,
definitely.
Yeah. No. If you gave me a choice between Mexico City and Querétaro, Mexico City any day of the week. Yeah. Amazing food, amazing people, walkable. You got Uber, you got incredible shopping no matter what you're looking for. Mexico City is the bomb if you want a big city feel.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even feel that big.
No, it's very clean.
Super clean. Yeah. So, yeah, Querétaro, I think it's nice, but
I feel like it's more a city that you need to drive. I mean, you can get around with taxis, but I feel like it's a lot of car. I don't know. Like, I feel like Mexico City is more accessible. That's just the vibe I got. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Mexico City is great. I love Mexico City. I can't wait to go back. We're going to do some videos in Mexico City. they're going to be really good. Stay tuned for that, guys. Let's check out this next one. Gringos R Us, welcome to the channel.
Welcome.
Oh my God, yes, you have to keep it real. No extra garbage. People deserve real-life demonstrations for a realistic idea of what lies in store for them. Absolutely. Gringos R Us, the two travelers in Mexico, they give you real-life breakdowns on their channels. In case you're not following them, check them out. Real-life breakdowns of what Mexico is like. They're not sugarcoating anything, and that's important. If you want to watch other travel channels because you want to kind of get away in your mind, hey, we've all done it, right? No problem. Watching them drink tequila. I don't even drink, but watching them drink tequila, watching them go out on the cruises, watching them this and that, got the music, got the insane editing. Listen, it's all good. But those videos are not, in my opinion, going to help you know what that place is like without that skewed lens. So I agree. Gringos R Us, 100%. All right. Stott says, body types, fire. You get me? FYI, stay frosty. That comment is a completely different language, my friend. I don't understand any of it. And I hope that it's all good for our sake. But thank you for the comment. Completely different language. I have no clue. David mentions to Gringos R Us, my other favorite YouTubers. Excellent, excellent, excellent.
Cindy K said hello to True Travels Mexico. Gringos R Us. Hello.
Hello, hello.
And then we have this other comment from Yuri. Hello, Yuri.
Hello, Yuri. I will be moving to Morelia in December. Woo! Listen, we got Cindy K. We got Yuri going to Morelia in December, originally from there, but I'm living in SWFL, Southwest Florida. It is super expensive here. My employer will be allowing me to work remotely. Yay! That is so cool. So as you can see, Yuri has a stable, sounds like a stable job before she's coming here. Yeah. She didn't move to Mexico and try to figure something out. She had a stable job first. Highly recommend, if you can do that, do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Congratulations in advance. You are awesome. I miss Morelia.
You're gonna love Morelia.
I miss Morelia so much.
City K said that's great. And Gringos R Us.
Let's see. What do the Gringos have to say? LinkedIn has been my best employment resource. I've also spoken a lot to a lot of people that like Upwork. Yes, Upwork, Fiverr, LinkedIn. However you do it, even your YouTube channel, like I said, you can advertise through your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You know, excellent thoughts. Thank you so much for leaving them. We got another one from Gringos R Us. You have to have something like 10,000 subscribers to get an Amazon affiliates link. They don't like us yet. LOL, maybe someday.
Aww.
Okay. I'm going to take your 10,000 subscribers.
That's a lot.
I have Amazon affiliate links on channels that have 5,000 subscribers.
Wow.
I've had affiliate links from back when I had 3,000 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers. So unless Amazon changed it recently, you can get affiliate links before you hit a 10,000 subscriber mark. Unless they've changed it recently, that I can't speak about. I believe I got my affiliate links 2 years ago, something like that. So that could be true.
Something I also wanted to point out, I didn't mention this before, but YouTube, for those of you who may not know, recently changed their monetization requirements. So you used to need 1,000 subscribers. Well, now you only need, and again, I don't know if this is for the whole world yet, but I know they're starting it out slowly, rolling it out. If you're in the US, this will affect you too. 500 now subscribers, so that's cut in half. And also, you'll need to have 3 uploads in the last 90 days, which isn't too hard to do.
No.
And also, in addition to the 500 subscribers, you'll need to have 3,000 watch hours or 3 million short views. So they're making it easier for smaller channels to get monetized quicker. They changed this after we already did, just after recently after we got that. But
Yeah.
I mean, this is good. If you're thinking about doing a YouTube channel, now you're only gonna get 500, not 1,000, and the watch hours are much less. Now it's only 3,000 or 3 million short views. You know, you could put out one video and you can get over 3 million views on a video. It may happen.
If it hits right, it hits right. Yeah.
I mean, but
Yeah. Keep in mind, though, as Gringos Are Us and probably the two travelers in Mexico have probably brought out in the past, we're going to bring it up again. Don't get like blinded by the YouTube thing. You might not make that much money. I'm grateful to say that we make a decent amount of money, but you are working.
Yeah.
YouTube is not easy.
No.
You have to record, you have to edit. You don't have to, but if that's what you're doing, it's not easy.
Depending on the type of videos you're doing.
Yeah, descriptions, tags, you're filming. It takes a lot of work. Do I feel like we get paid enough for what we do? No.
I will put out that we also don't pay an editor. We do
do the editing a lot of the time. I mean, we're doing the editing. So you're working for your money. YouTube is not giving you tons and tons of money. I mean, it really depends on your channel, how well the channel's doing, how many views you have, and all that stuff. So you might make anywhere from $2 a month to, I mean, there's some channels out there, not ours, but there's some channels out there that make $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month. That's certainly not us, right? That's the minority. If you have a regular YouTube channel that's doing good, you might make $500, $600, $1,000 a month. You might. So is it guaranteed? Nothing is guaranteed. But if we make $1,000 a month, I'm saying we still deserve more because it's taken so much of our life.
I don't even keep track of how many hours it spends to edit.
Yeah, it takes hours.
Hours
so,
or 4 hours to edit. Yeah.
You know, it is what it is.
Cindy case, good to know. RA.
All right, so let's move forward. RA. All right, having a job that is already remote or hybrid and come and go is essential to move to Mexico, especially if you aren't retired age. Absolutely, you should never come here and just be like, I'll figure it out. I don't think that's a good idea. You can work here. And if you're a foreigner who wants to work in Mexico and you don't have a Mexican background, especially if you don't speak Spanish, make sure where you're moving in Mexico is prime for you. Puerto Vallarta, Lakeside,
Cabo,
Ajijic,
Cancun,
Chapala, Jocotepec, Cabo, any place like that, you can survive and make money.
Yeah, you can go out and have a job.
And remember, you'll be making pesos.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be making tons and tons of pesos unless you have some incredible job. So keep that in mind too. Thank you for bringing that out, RA. We got another comment from Yuri. Based on your experience, what is the best internet provider in Mexico? Total Play is very popular, and I think they do a very good job. I think Total Play, like even in the United States, like from Queens to Brooklyn, you're going to have different providers. And depending on the infrastructure around, you're gonna have good or bad experiences. Total Play has been fine. And when my Total Play guy came to us once, I was like, all right, let me get chummy with this guy because I want to make sure I have his number. So what he ended up doing after he fixed a problem we had, I was like, I gave him a tip, gave him 200 pesos for him and his partner. I think at the time it was like $11, right? He was like, here's my phone number. Call me if you have any issues. So you might have to do something like that, or it might, may not have to do it, but it might behoove you to do something like that, right? Make friends and have people like you, and money talks a lot of the time. So a couple of pesos here and there, help out somebody else. They're going to help you out in the future. If you have any problems, they come right to your door and fix what you need fixed.
Also, like right now, we're using an Ethernet connection, so you may need that. Like, right? That's why, yeah. So we have that we actually had the guy come, and yeah, like you may need that.
We had someone install an Ethernet channel throughout the house,
Yeah.
so that you have a link up to the grid off of the Wi-Fi.
How much was that? It was only not $60. I don't remember.
Less.
Less. Yeah, it was very cheap.
It was very worth it. It was worth
Very
it to
fast.
do. So I hope that helps, Yuri. Also, you can go and get portable hotspots.
Yeah.
From like Telcel. Go to Telcel, get a portable Wi-Fi hotspot, and then you have internet no matter where you are. Those work pretty good.
I also recommend getting fiber optics. It's supposed to be fast internet.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you want fiber optic. Not all of Mexico has it yet, but a large majority of Mexico has it.
And Total Play has different packages too. So I think I forget, there's 5 or 6 packages you can choose from, and they'll give you the speed will depend on what package you purchase.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that helped. Gringos Are Us. Charles Schwab is awesome. Capital One is also very good. Wise is awesome, especially if you move money over to pesos first. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Once the dollar to peso ratio hits 20 again, 20 pesos to a dollar, move that money into pesos. Get that Wise account today. Move that money. You will do well. Looking for a Mexican card now for businesses that don't take U.S. cards. Yes. The only experience that we've had so far with businesses that have not taken U.S. cards is when you're trying to order food online, like for Uber Eats, for example. Sometimes they won't take an American card. All the other places that we've been to have taken American cards. I believe Wise, because you can turn your Wise card into a peso card. I believe you can use that in essence like a Mexican card. So maybe look into Wise if you don't have it already, gringos. And maybe you might be able to use that as a Mexican card because it's transacting in pesos. Gringos Are Us. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Got the computer acting up. Gringos Are Us. So many foodies really dislike Querétaro's food. Oh, I'm so glad we're not the only ones. All right, guys, we were telling you the truth. There you go. We had good meals, but we totally get after being other places how limited in variety they are. Absolutely. Oh, man. The shopping there, I don't find to be... I'm not trying to hate on Querétaro. Guys, you have beautiful Mexican people everywhere. But if we're being honest, just like gringos, we've traveled a lot. Querétaro... I don't know, guys.
I think it's a beautiful city. Like the plants were pretty beautiful. The center is beautiful.
It's got some decent stuff.
It has nice things about it.
You could live in worse places, but once you've experienced, like Gringos mentioned, and like we mentioned earlier, once you've experienced other places, Querétaro, it doesn't feel like Mexico to me. It doesn't feel like Mexico to me. I'm not getting the best food. I'm not meeting the sweetest people. It's not to say everybody, but listen, that's just our experience. We got to be honest with you guys.
In your travel.
Lenora, we have a comment from Lenora stating, in your travel. Not sure what that means, Lenora. Maybe you can expand in another comment. Please let us know. We would love to answer your comment. Let's hit up David. Okay. David, did either of you have pets or have aspirations to bring some into your family? We have 2 cats that we are not sure how to bring down. That and not having hit the savings number you mentioned. Okay. As far as pets, we both wanted a pet, but chose not to have one yet. And the reason why is because we don't want to be moving around an animal. It's not right to the animal. And it's very hard to do so.
Stressful.
Very stressful. It's like having a child, as you probably know. We did not bring a pet here on purpose. And we have not got a pet here on purpose because we're not settled yet.
Yeah.
When we settle, then, depending on how the channel is going, we may or may not get a pet, and it would probably be a dog. But I can't help you beyond that. I can't help you with bringing an animal here or getting an animal here. We can't help you with that yet. But in the future, if we do, you will see the process on the channel. We have 2 cats, yes, and that and not having hit the savings number. Yes, don't rush anything, but start the paperwork. If you haven't hit the savings number, start.
Too, this may not be a problem for you, but if you're traveling, I don't know if you're coming by plane, by car, keep that in mind too. Maybe, I mean, cats are easier than dogs, I think,
Right.
but not all places will accept, if you're renting, not all places will accept pets. So, you're gonna have to check with the landlord to see if they'll allow that too.
Right.
Yeah.
We got my man, annoying Kiwi dude, saying, hey. Hey back, my friend. Happy to see you on the live. Thanks for being here. Lenora, in your travels in Mexico, which place has the best climate as far as not too humid and access to Walmart? So we've heard some amazing things about Oaxaca.
Mhm.
We have not yet experienced it, but I will tell you that we had people from Morelia who've lived in Morelia their entire lives talking up the weather in Oaxaca. Okay?
We don't know. Yeah, we don't know. We haven't been there yet.
I just said that, yeah.
Yeah.
So we haven't been there, but we've had Morelianos talking up Oaxaca. As far as what we've experienced, the best weather is in Morelia. Hands down, beautiful, cool, breezy, very rarely humid, very rarely hot.
And everybody's version of best climate too is different. Some people, to them, the best climate is being summer weather all the time.
Well,
Some people's best version is
humid though.
We said not humid.
Yeah.
Okay, not humid. Well,
yeah, Lenora mentioned humid. So yeah, as far as humid, I would tell you go to Morelia. Morelia for shopping, Morelia for food, Morelia for the people, Morelia for, in my opinion, right now,
Morelia's everything.
Morelia has everything.
Mexico City also has a pretty good climate from what we've been told too, and they also have everything. They have.
It was more humid though.
Yeah, it was more hot. But we also may have been there during the heat wave, so I can't really tell.
When we were in Morelia, we had a heat wave.
Yeah.
And when we were in Mexico City, there was also a heat wave.
Yeah.
But Mexico City was substantially hotter than Morelia.
Yeah.
But it's still normally, when there's no heat wave, has very good weather in Mexico City.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to move to Morelia or Mexico City, the next on the list I would definitely say is the lakeside area. So you're talking about Ajijic, Chapala, Jocotepec. There's a lot of cities around the lakeside area.
Also, San Luis Potosí doesn't get humid. Well, let me rephrase that. The capital city in San Luis Potosí doesn't get humid. At least when we were there. It actually gets cold at night, which maybe you want to have some variation in your temperature and weather and don't want to be wearing the same clothes all the time, the same type of clothes. Maybe you want to go through all seasons in one day. Well, San Luis Potosí might be a good climate for you then.
It was amazing. When we were in San Luis Potosí, we had to, and I'm sure that Gringos R Us and the Two Travelers in Mexico can attest to this as well. We had 4 seasons in a day every day that we were there. I'm waking up in sweatpants and a jacket. By 12, I'm in shorts and a tank top. And by like 6 p.m., I'm back in the sweater and the jacket. So that was incredible.
We were told by someone, no, Guadalajara is the best weather. We went to Guadalajara and it was too humid. I'm sorry. It's too humid. And yeah, you have Walmart, but it's too humid. So I would not say Guadalajara. Personally, if you're someone sensitive like me to temperature, I wouldn't say Guadalajara, Tlaquepaque, any of those areas. I wouldn't say, definitely not say Puerto Vallarta. I would definitely not tell you Nayarit, Nueva Vallarta part. We've been there in 2021. Very humid.
Very humid.
Pretty much what we've noticed is if you go by the beach in Mexico, it's going to be hot. It's just going to be. If you want the best climate, I would say go for the central part of Mexico.
And if you're talking about Walmarts, if I remember correctly,
Yeah.
San Luis had a very good Walmart.
Yeah.
It was actually excellent. And Morelia.
Yeah, Morelia is great. You have, was there 5 Walmarts? I think you have like 5 Walmarts, at least 5 Walmarts. They have different kinds of Walmarts too. So you have Walmart Express, you have the Super Walmart.
You got Selecto Chedraui.
That store is great. You have the malls.
Oh.
You can get anything you want from the US, Canada. They import stuff. It's great. You have multiple options of things.
You got in Morelia, right? You go to a Selecto Chedraui, you go to Walmart, you got Italian food that's imported, you got Chinese food that's imported, you have the closest thing, in my opinion, to like being in the United States. I mean, and then you got all the other good benefits of being in Morelia.
Lisa, their channel is
Lisa loves Gringo R Us's name. Absolutely. Gringos R Us mentioned. Let's see here. All right, Gringos R Us. Let's get on.
Internet, please.
Yeah, sorry guys, the computer's running a little slow.
Even with the internet connection.
Lenora mentioned.
No, this one.
Okay. Regarding Amazon, you guys are just special. They told us thanks for playing. Come back again. So I don't know if they told you it was because of the amount of subscribers. Maybe it was because you mentioned 10,000. Back when I started, that wasn't a requirement. But I've also heard that they can pick and choose whether they like your content or not. So you might actually be able, unless they specifically told you in writing 10,000 subscribers, they might just not like the content for whatever reason, because I've actually heard of other YouTube channels getting booted from the Amazon affiliates program because they didn't like their content. Why they would not like yours, that would be beyond me, because you guys have excellent content. There's nothing wrong with it. But I'm just giving you my thoughts to maybe try to help. But I hope that in the future you can be able to get those links. Man, I can get some excellent comments.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you guys for all your
excellent
support.
comments. Yeah.
Different question. I'm on disability in the United States. I want to move to where it's warm and fresh, ripe fruit for health, but will probably lose my disability. And I'm trying to get my driver's license back here. A long story.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for sharing your circumstances. Yeah, I know what you mean. Without that disability, you might have a hard time here unless you figure out another way again to go ahead and support yourself. So I hope this video is helping in regards to that in some way, shape, or form.
Maybe try to have some savings.
So,
we thought we could have some with it.
Okay.
This one.
Let's see.
Scroll up. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. We got another comment from Lisa. And I have no idea how to use most tech. I can do the basics. So I need to find someone to teach me how to do a YouTube channel, i.e. microphones, how to edit, how to do anything, even if I don't move. So Lisa, there are hundreds and hundreds of channels that you can get the information for free. Hundreds of channels. What is that one channel? Think Media. Check out Think Media. THINK Media. They will teach you from the ground up more than what you need to know. Microphones, camera, everything. They teach everything. That's the whole purpose of their channel. They will give you more than you will ever need to know in regards, and they're top notch. They are so professional. So, and very successful. So I recommend Think Media 100%.
Also, I wanted to point out is that to be a YouTuber, you don't need to have like the best camera. You can just have a cell phone, really a good cell phone. And I wanted to say that before I started editing the videos, did YouTube, because I also had a teaching English YouTube channel. I still technically do have. I remember like Joe was editing his videos and he uses KineMaster.
Right.
And I was like, I'm a very like tech savvy challenged person, even though I work online.
Yeah,
which
so
might surprise
you're
you.
not tech savvy.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
not tech savvy.
Brittany's saying she's not
Sorry, I'm
tech
not.
savvy.
Yeah, I'm not tech savvy, but I've learned to do some editing, and an app that I really like. I don't know if it's on Android, but it's maybe put in the comments. I don't know if you put in the comments.
No.
No, it's called InShot.
InShot. INSHOT.
And that app is pretty simple to use. It's free. You don't have to pay. I use that to edit our videos a lot of the times when I'm at the ones I edit. And it's, like I said, it's free. You have tools. You can split things. It's very like basic because when it comes to like technology, I'm like a baby. So it's really basic, especially if you have like Apple, like an iPhone. You can just do that. Go on InShot and edit it, and it's very basic.
Well, not all. 2 of my YouTube channels that are monetized, I did it strictly using my Galaxy Note 10 Plus. Just this. It was not the best footage, but what's more important is the information. You could literally, Lisa, record a video on your phone and just open up the YouTube app, press the plus button on the YouTube app and upload your video. You started your channel. That's it. So you don't need all the fancy stuff in the beginning. In fact, Think Media will tell you in a lot of their videos, you don't need any equipment. Just upload a video on your phone. Let's see. What's the next?
Gringos Are Us.
Realistic income on a YouTube channel with less than 2,000 subscribers is about $70 a month. Working online for an IT company from the USA earns more than a surgeon's salary in Mexico. So I will say, in my experience, gringos, I wouldn't necessarily say that. Because I'm speaking just from my experience, the more you're watched, the more money you make, right? You're not making money off the amount of subscribers you get. You're making the money off of who's watching. You could have 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 subscribers. If you're not getting any watch time, you're not going to make any money, right? So in my experience, both of my channels, when they were at just over 1,000 subscribers, they were making $500 to $800 a month. Those are my other channels, right? So it depends on your content. It depends on how engaging you are. Maybe an average 2,000 subscribers would make $70 a month. Maybe, but really, realistically, you're not making the money off of subscribers. So it just depends on your watch time. Are you making that watch time? If you have 2,000 subscribers, but you're engaging and everybody's watching all your videos and they're watching them and they're, whatever, you can make more money than a channel that has 10,000 subscribers if only 20 people on that channel are watching. So it all really depends. But thank you so much for the input. I'm sure that in your experience, that's been what you've seen, and that's great to talk about. Starlink works well for fast internet until it rains. Rain doesn't like satellite dish type services.
Gringos Are Us, can you explain? I know you guys talked about Starlink. I don't think we've ever used Starlink.
I don't even know what it is.
Explain what is that? Is that like the car Starlink, like for the car? Like they had that Starlink.
Well, it sounds like it's talking about internet.
Is it both? What is Starlink?
Yeah, gringos. What is Starlink?
And how much does Starlink cost, if you don't mind sharing?
Let's see. Next comment from Yuri. I lived in Querétaro for a while, and we could not find beef tacos anywhere. They sold only pork everything.
Wow.
I used to buy my tortillas in Morelia when we visited and took them back to Querétaro. Wow. Thank you for leaving that information. That will help a lot of people to know whether or not they want to move, because honestly, having beef tacos or not, that sounds like something that every place should have, and that could be something that you might not want to live without.
Yeah.
We got another comment from Lisa. Lisa is talking to Lenora.
Okay.
Welcome, Atomic 1960. Welcome.
ADO app won't take us U.S. cards. Very frustrating.
RA brings out ADO app won't take US cards. Very frustrating. So I'm not sure what the ADO app is because I'm not familiar with the acronym ADO, but I'm sure it's a Mexican app and it will not take US cards. So it is frustrating. Very frustrating. That's a huge deal. Make sure wherever you move in Mexico, they have what you want and need. So I can tell you because we visit so many places, you really might not be willing to be without certain things. Like, for example, Uber Eats. If you depend on that
Yeah.
and you don't have it, or even something as simple as a Starbucks.
Yeah.
If a place doesn't have a Starbucks, but you like your Starbucks, you can ask Brittany.
Yeah.
Your life will feel miserable. It's the little things. It's the really little things. Morelia, that's why we're telling you, Morelia has it
Multiple
all.
Starbucks, not just one. They even they have a sign that says Starbucks. It's so funny. It's like a regular like city sign. It's like green and white. It says Starbucks.
It's the funniest thing.
Just to let you know before you get to the Starbucks and see the Starbucks sign that there's going to be a Starbucks. And there's multiple Starbucks.
Yeah, you have like this sign when you're driving. It'll be like Avenue Juarez, right, on the sign. So you know you're on Avenue Juarez. And then like the next sign, it looks exactly like that sign, but it says Starbucks on it. It's so funny. But yeah, so it's very frustrating. Make sure wherever you move, that place has what you want. You got plenty of options, guys. So many options. Great. That's part of the problem is Mexico has so many options and every place has its own amazing things.
I think in Morelia end of 2023, but you're currently looking for an apartment in Morelia from Houston.
Okay.
Morelia, woo!
So Atomic is looking at moving in Morelia. I can almost guarantee you're not going to be disappointed in Morelia. Almost guarantee you, depending on your lifestyle.
I don't know what your budget is, why it would be difficult to look, but I mean, depending on the area, you can find something. Now, you don't want to just be in, I would say, any area in Morelia for safety reasons, but I mean, if you want to be in a good area, you can still find something for way less than lots of other major places in Mexico.
And Brittany mentioned for safety reasons. We're not trying to scare you. No. I would recommend not moving to Jamaica, Queens. Sorry, everybody who's from Jamaica, Queens. I'm sorry, but I've been in Jamaica, and it's not the most fun place to be. So I'm talking about New York right now. What I'm trying to say is no matter where you are in the world, you're not going to want to move to an area that's no good. And every place has its area, right? So keep that in mind. As far as finding an apartment, highly, highly recommend getting boots on the ground. So when you come here, find an Airbnb. Maybe you have to spend a little bit more, but come here, get a facilitator or use your own Spanish or use your own connections. By making connections, don't be afraid to meet people and try to learn the language if you don't know it already and make connections and find a place while you're here. Get an Airbnb, travel around Morelia while you're living in an Airbnb, find the place you love, find the place you want to live. That's where you're going to find little signs outside of houses for rent, whatever the case might be. And at least you're finding a place that's not going to have gringo prices. Because when you meet people personally, like face to face, you have much more control over the price. Much more. You can go up to somebody and be like, listen, I'm not going to pay you 10,000 pesos a month. I'm going to pay you 8. How's that? Depending on the person. Yeah, no problem. Were you going to say something?
Yeah.
Okay. So I hope that helps. We got another comment from Lenora. Thanks for your advice. I'll be traveling with my mom. Sounds like, and this may help her adjust better. So I'll definitely check out Morelia. Morelia is a beautiful Mexican city. Mm-hmm. I'm saying that because depending on who you are, you may not want or be able to adjust to that. Now, when you first arrive in Morelia, give yourself 2 weeks.
At least.
Actually, no matter where you arrive, Give yourself 2 weeks to learn the culture of that city.
That's what we did in 2021.
Yeah. Because that culture of that city will be completely different than the next Mexico place. Every place has its own culture within Mexico. So give yourself the 2 weeks. Something might be frustrating. It might be a noisy area. Guys, you can find quiet places in Morelia. You can find quiet places in Mexico City. You can find quiet places in La Paz. Not all of Mexico is noisy, just like a lot of places in Mexico are noisy.
Yeah.
Be patient with yourself, but understand Morelia is not Chapala.
Or
Morelia
Ajijic.
is not Ajijic.
No.
Morelia is not
Puerto
Puerto Vallarta. Morelia is not Cabo.
San Miguel. There's expats there, or foreigners or immigrants, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, there's foreigners there.
For all that. But there's not that many when compared to other cities. And also, again, I don't know what your guys' current situation is, Lenora. If you guys are retired, maybe you have a pension, maybe you have a stable income. But if you want to, let's say, like, you don't speak Spanish again, and you want to be a real estate agent, or you want to have a business, it may be a little bit harder in Morelia, for example.
Yeah, it all depends. Just know what you're getting yourself into and give yourself time to adjust.
And again, know what lifestyle you want to have.
Right. But Morelia
is great.
I love Morelia. When I think of Morelia, I want to cry tears of joy. That's how much I love it. OBS is also open source from Wilfredo. OBS is an app you can use to edit videos. So excellent app, 100%.
Okay, so we're over here. The person was talking about the U.S. address. Should not affect you.
Okay, maybe just pop that on the screen real quick. Sorry, guys. Give us 1 second. From Lenora, the person whom was talking about their disability, if you can keep a U.S. address, it should not affect you. So we can't speak on that, but I hope that does help.
David, show. Sorry, guys, for slow.
David, Lenora, don't a lot of people use a service in one of the Dakotas to keep U.S. addresses? I think I remember Gringos did a video about that changing. Okay. Thank you for bringing that up, David. And we got Lisa. Thank you for the info. I was poisoned by an RX by not only do I deal with chronic pain, but it's affected my brain. So that's why I can't even read. So that's why hard to learn tech stuff and want to live where
we're not forced to have to get a vaccine or shot.
Okay, yeah.
So what happened to me? Glad I found your guys' channel. Aw, we're happy you found us too, Lisa.
Yeah, we're very happy you found us too, and we're happy to have you here. And we're sorry to hear about the troubles that you've been going through. Yeah.
Aw.
Really sorry about that, but I hope that things work out.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got a comment from Gringos. Starlink is satellite internet, high speed, Elon Musk company. Well, it's got to be good then, right?
It's got to be good. It's Elon Musk.
The satellites are in an orbit closer to Earth, so lower latency. It's about $400 USD to buy the dish, $50 to $75 a month. Okay, that doesn't sound too bad, to be honest. But if it does go out when it rains, be aware of that, guys, because that could be a huge problem in Mexico, depending on where you are.
When we talk about a dish, what does that mean? Like literal, like a satellite dish?
I guess.
Satellite dish you put on the roof? This is interesting. Maybe we do a video on that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do some research into it. Thank you so much for letting us know. Because
we've been dealing with internet problems. Okay, let's see what Lenora says.
At David, yes, I did hear about South Dakota as far as taxes go. It's called a traveling mailbox. Yes, you guys can get virtual mailboxes or, traveling mailboxes, which will allow you to have an address, which is not really an address, anywhere you want. So Texas, South Dakota, places that don't require you to legally report your income, right? A lot of places in the United States, you don't have to report your income as far as taxes go, right? So New York is a place that you do. Texas, I don't think you do. South Dakota. So depending on your mailbox, your place of residency, you might be able to get away with living in South Dakota and not have to pay income tax, if that's what you guys are talking about. So there's options out there of things you can do. Keep in mind, though, if you're getting health care from that state, you'll have to change your health care. From Yuri.
Have you tried Cafe Europa? In my opinion, better than Starbucks, and my daughter works for Starbucks here in Florida.
Someone mentioned Cafe Europa to us. I believe that's in the center, if I remember correctly.
Really?
I believe so.
I think they have that in Raleigh. They have an Italian coffee company too, I've heard of.
Yeah, they have a few different places. Personally, for me, that's good. Something like Cafe Europa would be perfect. For Brittany, no bueno. Brittany wants the Starbucks drinks, all the little like chocolate, ice cream, not really coffee at all things. That's what Brittany likes. And if it's not Starbucks, it's going to be hard to please on that front. But thank you for letting us know.
Lisa.
You guys got incredible comments. Ridiculously
Exactly.
good.
I live in the suburbs of Detroit. Sorry, but I bet most cities in Mexico are safer than there.
Yeah. I'm really disgusted by the state of the United States right now. And I'm not just talking about New York, I'm talking about a lot of places. Really sad stuff. Really sad stuff. Okay, let's see. Who do we have next?
I clicked down. There you go.
Are you guys still in Morelia? So Atomic, currently we're not in Morelia, but we will be going back to Morelia unless something changes, because we just are in love with Morelia. But currently we are not. Currently we are Lakeside. So we're in the Hocotepec, Ajijic, Chapala, and all those other little towns. We're in that area right now. And the reason why is because within this area, we purchased a home for investment so we can make pesos. So we're not there right now, but we cannot wait to get back to Morelia.
That's another thing too, maybe another video but about investing. If you're thinking about buying an investment house, maybe we should do a video. Why didn't we invest in a house in Morelia?
Yeah, we're going to do a separate video about the house. We're going to do a separate video, and in that video, we can talk about why we didn't invest in Morelia, our thought process on that. So we can talk about that in another video. Let us know in the comments if you'd like to see that video be alive.
Yeah.
Let us know, because if you guys don't want to be alive, we'll do a regular video on it. But if you want to be alive so you could ask questions, we can go ahead and do that. Dahlia, that sounds like such a cool name. If I said it correctly, Dahlia. Hi, guys. Why did you choose Morelia as a place to live? So Morelia has the people, it has the food, it has the shopping,
it has the weather,
it has everything for us.
It reminds me a lot of especially when you go out, kind of like upstate New York with the trees, kind of like you have pine trees, things like that.
So beautiful.
It's like you have a mixture of country and city, and that's something like in the U.S., for example, you don't see a lot of. Right. You can have a farm in a city. That's kind of be weird. Be like having a farm in New York City. That'd be just weird.
Right.
But in Morelia, there's about 1 million people or something like that. You'll see cows, you'll see horses.
Yeah.
You'll see that, and you'll have forests, but you can be in the city and have your 5 Walmarts and Starbuckses and the malls.
You'll be seeing a donkey walk in front of the Walmart.
Yeah.
And the Walmart inside is carrying food from Italy and Japan and all this exotic food, but you got a little donkey walking by.
You'll sometimes see the dog, the horse, the donkey. You'll see they're like a little family, and they just go together.
I love Morelia. I can't help but smile. And again, I'm not getting paid to say this by Morelia. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to put down any other place in Mexico.
It's also affordable too when you compare it to other cities like Puerto Vallarta, Cabo,
so
Mexico
affordable.
City too. Again, of course, what you can get in Morelia, you may get not even in a whole apartment in another part of Mexico. Where'd it go?
I think we froze. Give us a second, guys. Okay, I think we're back. So what Brittany's trying to say is that in Morelia, your money goes a lot further. So our previous apartment was in a beautiful and safe area. Oh, our camera's about to die.
Oh no.
Should
we keep going? Come.
That's crazy that the camera's about to die. Let me see if I could fix that camera issue, guys. Give me a second, all right?
Do you want me to answer that questions or no?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll try.
Question: what if it's too difficult to move to Mexico so I don't lose my disability, health insurance, and get medicines here, but live part-time in Mexico? Also, how does their medicine system, Medicaid? How will I drive this many questions? Wow. So personally, I don't know anything about disability. Well, neither of us know anything really about that. Maybe I would ask, maybe go on the Facebook expat group chats, maybe ask those questions. We don't have a Mexican driver's license. You don't need one. You can just use your one in the United States. So let me just put this question up there, people can see it. So, sorry, it takes a while to put the questions up here. So, as for the disability, health insurance, we were actually talking about health insurance in Mexico. We'll have to do more research on that stuff. I don't want to give any wrong information, and really, I don't know the answers to about the disability, the Medicaid. I know there's private health insurance. I've heard free health insurance, but I don't want to say anything wrong. That will have to probably be a different video with more research to cover the health insurance part of Mexico and disability, because honestly, we're not the best people to ask about that. But I would suggest you go in the expat Facebook groups and look up your questions, because I'm sure join multiple Facebook groups about Mexico. San Luis Potosí, Guadalajara, Morelia, join all of them. join, because if someone doesn't know the answer in one, they'll get the answer somewhere else. So I would highly suggest you maybe do that, and maybe we'll do a video on that topic once we do research. Thanks for advice, guys. You're welcome, Atomic. Gringos are us. Oh, where'd it go? There you go. Is the camera fixed there?
So, guys, in case the camera dies, it should automatically revert to our computer camera. So I don't think we'll lose the stream. And at that point in time, I'll change the battery. So it may die. If something crazy happens with the screen, that should be the most of what happens, I believe.
Gringos are us. Sorry, I'm trying to bring it up here. It's not working. There we go. You can have residential Starlink dish like the Two Travelers, which looks just like the RV Starlink dish ours, but there is a difference.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you.
I guess it's good. Is it fast? Because, honestly, the total play here is not cheap. So, Starlink, if you're getting better service, maybe it's going to look into.
And depending on the home that you're living in, right? Certain places in Mexico will build their homes out of hollow cement block. But then you have other homes in Mexico that are built out of solid concrete. And so that's going to change how your internet works. If you have hollow block, it's much easier than if you have solid, like concrete. You know what I'm saying? So that's something to consider too.
Starlight can be mounted on a pole and need to have no obstructions in the sky, trees, roofs, walls, etc. Oh, okay.
Thank you very much.
Oh, good. To the person on disability, the SSA office told me I can live anywhere in the world because I am on SSDI.
We're going to bring it up on the screen, guys. Okay. We're going to bring it up on the screen.
It just takes a while. It takes we're having problem loading up the questions. It takes a long time. Okay. Small now.
What's happening here?
I don't know. The camera.
Hey, can you guys see us? I think we're still live.
Must be on this question.
Hold on a sec. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Something happened with our screen. I don't know what happened with our screen. Okay. Let's see if we can get this comment on the screen for you.
Aw, Brandon.
To the person on disability, the SSA office told me I can live anywhere in the world because I am on Social Security disability. If you are only on SSI, is a violation to leave the country because it's government money. Thank you very much for that information.
SSI, Social Security income?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So if
believe
you're on
so.
disability, you can live anywhere.
That's what I'm getting out of this.
Okay.
But to the person who needed that input, oh, one of my favorite people in the world, Brandon Suarez. Welcome to the live. Thank you for being here. Much love to you and Joe. I'm subscribed to every channel. My man, that's what I'm talking about. Brandon actually has an amazing channel. Check out his channel. It's called Brandon Suarez, and he focuses on jewelry. So since we're in the same jewelry space for that other channel, man, in case you're into accessories and jewelry, he does a great job talking about that stuff. I got to hit his channel up. We've been so busy on this channel and so busy with the house, I haven't had a chance. All right, let's bring up that next comment. Mishmash. I am disabled living in Mexico. It's all doable, even the driver's license. Okay.
Oh, great. Thank you for answering the question.
Good to know. Oh, Brandon's got a very interesting comment right here. Once I learn Spanish, I'm moving to Mexico because my apartment has roaches.
Oh, no.
Let me tell you, Brandon, depending on where you move in Mexico, your apartment will have roaches. So depending on where, but there's different types of roaches, right? So in a lot of places in Mexico, you have really big roaches. They're not like the little roaches you find in
my goodness. The first time we came to Mexico in 2021, our first place had roaches.
Yeah.
That was terrifying. I opened the microwave and there they were. That was like, welcome to Mexico.
Yeah. So it depends on where you live.
Oh, we have almost retired in Mexico.
Give us 1 sec, guys. Sorry about that.
There we are. I can see us on here.
You can see us? Okay, good. So we're almost back. Give us a second.
Oh, they can hear us. Yeah.
All right, good. We're back.
We're back. Yay. Now where's our I can't read them on here. Oh, yeah. That.
All right, good. Yeah, so Brandon, back to the roaches. I'm telling you, every place in the world has them, depending on where you are. But we would love to have you in Mexico, that's for sure.
Yeah.
The culture is amazing. The culture here, the food here, I would tell you, probably never miss the United States. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here, bro. Thank you so much for being here. Guys, if you haven't checked out Almost Retired in Mexico, make sure you do so. I'm sure you all have, though. All right. So let's see. What is the next comment that we have?
What state is Morelia in? It's in Michoacan. And how could you not want to live by the beach? Well, good question. I actually said I.
Listen, Lisa, we're going to blow your mind right now. Boom. Let me tell you a story. Brittany, when I said, Brittany, I'm going to let you talk, but I got to say my part. When I told Brittany, I was like, Brittany, I want to move to Mexico. She's like, I am not moving to Mexico. I'm like, come on, let's move to Mexico. And she's like, fine. The only way I'm moving to Mexico, the only way is if I get to live at the beach. Take it away.
Then I went to the beach. And it was hot. And I got out of the car. Actually, when I was in the car by the beach, I felt like I was going to die.
Let me tell you something.
And we almost suffocated when we got out of the car. And I didn't want to be outside anymore.
When you live in places like Merida, when you live in places like Puerto Vallarta, whoever's out there who lives there, if you love it, you love it. Yeah. But I'm going to say a majority of those people live there only because it is safe.
Yeah.
It just so happens that the cartels hate the hot weather too. So you see them a lot less at those places.
Honestly, if I could handle the heat, I probably would be in Merida.
If you could handle the heat and humidity, we would be there. We would be in like Merida. Well, maybe. I don't know. I still love Morelia.
Because it's safe. I mean, that's probably why.
But for safety, the hot, humid, disgusting places, they're great for safety. But when you are a prisoner in your own house because you don't want to leave or do anything, including go on a little walk, nah.
No.
So we went to the beach, we experienced the beach, and we were like, hell no, not happening.
I mean, we like to visit the beach, but it's still hot. Like,
it is
you live in air conditioning and you live in the pool, but then, like, what if you want to go for a walk? What if you want to go hiking? If you live, some people just work online in their air conditioning and they go out in the evening and they're okay living like just going out in the evening or something like that. If you're okay with it, that's fine. But if you want to go out and do things, go do activities, and not have to worry about dying, you know, I need a lychee plug. Is it like a bubble tea?
A lychee plug? Yeah, so you know those little like gushy things, the fruit?
I don't lychee. Yeah.
Lychees?
The plug.
Yeah, lychee plug. I don't know what that is, but lychee, I know what it is.
I think you send me some Mexican lychee.
We see them on the side of the road. Yeah, we see people selling lychees over here. Yeah, they're really good. I wish we could ship them to you, but they would cost you through the nose to ship, and it would probably end up being illegal anyway once they hit customs. You know.
So almost retired in Mexico. Good to see you too. Gringos R Us. Yes, you're good. Michelle, I see you. Let's put up Lisa's question up here.
Man, you guys got some excellent questions.
To make my question easier, I was saying, what if I just try to live part-time in Mexico, given that I have a lot of issues here?
You absolutely could. You absolutely could if you lived part-time in Mexico. Well, at least from my point of view, I can't see why you couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, since you have a lot going on, why not? Give it a shot. The only way you're going to do it is by doing it. Make the plans, try to foresee any problems that may occur, and just do it. You're probably going to be really depressed when you have to go back to the United States, let me tell you, because I'm not even back in the United States yet. And the only thing I look forward to seeing in the States is my family. But I'm not even back there yet, and I'm already depressed.
I'm already looking forward to it, though, because, you can get some, besides seeing friends, family, looking forward to the food also, too.
Yeah.
Especially in New York City.
All right.
See you. Yes, I can see you guys. Froze on this camera. Yeah, sorry, guys, about the camera. Cartel action. Almost retired.
A cartel action.
There was no cartel. Hola, your screen went blank. No need my lychee plug. Our camera's dying, so see you.
Okay, good. I'm glad you guys got us back.
Oh, wait. Hang on, what's up? We see the camera's dying. I see you. What is? Oh, okay. The roaches are just the official welcoming committee. Yeah, exactly. I love the cartels hate the heat theory. Yeah, they do. Maybe that must be it. My video today is about being depressed in the U.S.
We saw your video.
Yes.
Oh Almost Retired in Mexico had a great video that he put out earlier talking about depression and how living in Mexico can actually help with depression. Let me tell you, I agree. I am not looking forward to going back to the States. I'm going to wake up in the States. I'm going to be so depressed. But again, I'm going to have my family, and that will help there. But my goal is to get the family in Mexico. That's what I'm talking about. So let's see what the future brings.
Oh, there's no more comments. I guess we got all our comments. Sorry, guys. If you guys are leaving comments, I can't see any more.
All of a sudden, we have no comments, which is wild because we've had so many comments so far.
We've been on for 2 hours.
We've been on for over 2 hours. So I think unless you guys got any more thoughts real quick, I think we probably will sign off.
Yeah.
But drop us a comment if you want us to touch on anything else real quick. We'll give you guys like another minute or so.
So to go over what we discussed today, we're talking about how you can make money. So you can make money multiple different ways. It's important to have savings before you come here.
Let me just touch on something. Lenora said she saw Almost Retired in Mexico's video. Let me tell you something. Almost Retired in Mexico has an excellent video on how he makes money on his channel.
Yeah.
Such valuable resources. So check out his video. It's probably labeled something like How I Make Money in Mexico. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Great lot.
So check that out. Oh, Lenora, thank you so much. We're so happy that you
you.
enjoyed the live. So happy that you enjoyed it. We really hope this was valuable to all you guys. And thank you to every single person for being here with us, spending time with us.
Yes, thank you everybody so much for your input, talking about the disability, the SSI situation. Thank you for shedding light on that. And you guys asked some really great questions about living in Mexico. So to go over what we discussed today, we talked about, thanks for the shout out. You're welcome.
Thank you for your channel because it's a very valuable resource.
Lisa said something. So again, you can work online, maybe work in person depending on where you are in Mexico and have savings. Work remotely.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Lisa. Oh, Lenora, FYI, just got a new subscriber. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that support.
Thank you.
And Evie B, thank you so much. We're so glad that you enjoyed the live. Thank you to each and every one of you guys. Yeah, if you keep clicking, it's going to have a problem. You just have to click one time. Great. Oh, thank you so much. Gringos Are Us, good live. You guys, you're killing it. Thank you so much. We're very grateful. Thanks to support like you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
And thank you guys for your channel because it's a very valuable source of information. Lisa, I love the colors in Mexico. All the buildings look dark when you come back. Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. Going back to the States, for me, is very depressing. Just the idea.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
But again, seeing my family is way worth it. All right, Lisa. Take care. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you to every single person who joined us. And thank you for all your great input. Have a wonderful night, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you. Have a good night.
Goodbye. Goodbye, Starry Night. Thank you. You're so welcome. Bye, Lisa. Bye, Gringo. Bye. UVB. Bye, everybody.
Adios, adios. Nos vemos.
Have a great night.